Welcome back to another video. This time I will be looking at an altcoin cryptocurrency called Bonfire. Now this is very similar to the very hyped up Safemoon. And before I go any further, I do just want to state I'm not a financial advisor, but I do know that these kind of investments, if you can even call them that, are really risky. And just for some perspective, I'm using this as a short-term trade, and with the amount of money I'm putting into it, it is a fraction of a percent of my kind of investment portfolio, and I am just doing this for play money. So if you do kind of like the idea and sound of it and want to take a gamble, make sure that you do it with money you can afford to lose. With that being said, the reason why I'm buying Bonfire is for a few different reasons. The main being because it has the same tokenomics as Safemoon, but it's also got a different kind of community feel, and it's got a different branding that I preferred than Safemoon, especially after Safemoon's AMA, when they had the developers going on high, smoking weed, and they're just chatting a load of crap really. They had really no substance to their message or what their commitment was to the actual token and how they're going to develop any kind of value to token holders. So that kind of put me off Safemoon. Whilst I still do hold a bit and I made a lot of money on it, I did have already sold some and I put them profits into Bonfire. So that being said, this is a company's website. The first thing you can see here that has also put me off is you can see this button here to join Telegram. It's slightly off. I don't know whether that's my MacBook or if it's just the website playing off a bit funny, but that is something that's kind of put me off and is a bit funny. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the tokenomics of this coin is the same as Safemoon. Basically, every transaction people make, 10%, they lose 10% of their holdings. So if you have $100 worth or £100 worth, you sell that, you only receive 90 when you sell. And that is because 10% of that is called a tax on transactions, you can see here. So 5% of that gets given to all the other holders, so that's me, you, and everyone else holding the current token. And then 5% gets added to the liquidity, meaning making it easier to buy and sell for holders, which ultimately should increase the profits. And not only this, they are also constantly burning tokens. You can see here they have an astounding amount of supply. They have, I believe that's 1 quadrillion tokens in circulation and supply. They've already burnt 30%, which is a bit weird because this coin is only 5 days old. They might as well just released 30% less tokens, but this is going down through the more liquidity and the transactions going forward, increasing holders for people to hold for a longer time period. But like I said, this is a short-term thing for me. I am just going to try to get a bit of money, taking a gamble, and then going out and put into some safer investments such as mutual funds. But these tokenomics are very interesting, and it can create a lot of long-term value if the coin itself brings in something else rather than just basically a Ponzi scheme, just saying if you buy this, when everyone else sells, you make more money. That sounds great, but that's no real world value. So if they go on and create some sort of tangible asset or even software or some sort of thing that provides value, I believe they are going to be working on an exchange, which I'll get onto in a bit. So it could have some long-term value, but again, for me, this is a high-risk, short-term bet that I'm making. So these are a few other reasons why I'm putting money into Bonfire rather than more into Safemoon or some other altcoins. They are really early, so these have only been released for about 4 or 5 days now. As you can see here on their timeline, we're coming into April 2021. They've only got the token launch and website launch, and now they're working onto the marketing, the community building, community contest, and getting listed on different exchanges. Basically building awareness of this token, meaning more people will jump in and buy, which should ultimately push the price up. Along with that, with the extra transactions, you're also actually gaining more Bonfire. So when I actually bought it, I'll put up a screenshot here, I had about 5.7 billion, and over the last 2 days, I've actually already received about 200 million worth of Bonfire. So if it does go up in value, I've made a lot of money from that kind of the tokenomics of transactions and feeding more Bonfire tokens back to me, the holder. So that's what's in store for Bonfire within the month of April, basically a lot of marketing. And then into May, I guess they're hoping for the token to take off a bit, obviously from the initial marketing, because it's going into a higher marketing budget. They're doing even more community things and getting on more listings. Again, just pushing it out, and then they're going to go on to start selling merchandise and partnerships, which is quite interesting. I don't know how much I value that for long-term value. It's not as strong as like Safemoon building the exchange or other cryptocurrencies out there that have real-world applications, such as Ethereum being built on NFTs being built on the Ethereum network and stuff like that. That stuff could have real-world applications. Simply having merchandise and stuff like that is kind of just a sales scheme. So again, there are some, in my opinion, red flags about the long-term prospects of this token. For me, it is simply a shitcoin that I'm making a gamble on. Now, the final thing on their website you'll see is just how to buy it. It's quite a long-winded process. I have bought it through Trust Wallet, but it's the same process. And there's loads of videos online if you want to go check out on how to buy it for yourself. Now, moving on to the performance of Bonfire, you can see here it's got a current market cap of 44 million, and that's important for several reasons, but I'll get on to that in a minute. So I actually bought in, like I said, 2 days ago. My $220 investment odd actually went up to just over $1,000, which is crazy. You can see the massive bull run it had here, and then obviously the drawdown, and now it's starting to climb back up gradually. So currently that $200 is sitting around 400, about half of what it was, or less than half of its peak, which would have been nice if I could have sold then, but I'm holding out, and I do really expect this could at least 10 or 20x again from where it is now, making my investment 40 or 50x overall. So the reason why I said this market cap is important is because, again, I'm comparing it to Safemoon, and obviously this was kind of the founder of these tokenomics. But you can see here they have a 2.3 billion market cap. So that, compared to Bonfire, is a significant increase and shows there's a lot of room for growth. But the reason why market cap is not necessarily important is because with the tokenomics and the token burns, that actually decreases the supply, and therefore that actually technically decreases the market cap because there's less coins in circulation, and that means your coins are going to be worth more without the market cap necessarily increasing. But obviously you still want it to increase. But where I had the drop yesterday, as you can see here, so I had my 5.7 or 5.9 billion tokens here, and it actually reached $100 million market cap. But as it fell, and then it goes back up again, if it goes back up again, and reaches $100 million market cap, my value will actually be more than what it was 2 days ago because of the tokenomics and the burn making my tokens worth more, as well as actually receiving more tokens in that time period. Now, the next kind of thing you should look for if you look at altcoins is the fear of being like rug pulled. Some whales just selling and you're losing all your holdings. So you can see here Bonfire has about 46,723 addresses. Now, there is one large holder here. I actually haven't done my research here to see if that has like the developers or whatnot. I'm assuming it is, but they have about 6.5% of holdings. You can see this dead wallet here. This is where they get burned. So they've already burned about 36%, and that's dead, so that out of circulation, not being sold. And then it goes down. The next kind of large holdings are 1.8. That's Pancake Swap, 1.7, 0.9, 0.8. So it goes down quite drastically after that. But one or two people selling can be quite drastic. You can actually see the amount of volume and people selling on this PooCoin app. And you can see there's some significant transactions. People are putting $1,000, $500. And there's a lot of green here, which is good for people who wanted to get in. It shows that more people are buying. And I also wanted to compare the number of holders compared to Safemoon. So as I said, Bonfire has about a 40 million market cap with a 40,000 odd holders. Safemoon has about a 2.2 billion market cap with 1.2 million holders, which is quite incredible, it has that many addresses. And again, going down here, they have a few more different kind of wallets, whales even, with large holdings. They have one person with 3.8%, 2.4, 2, 1.8, 1.6. You can see there's a few more large holders on Safemoon alone, but they actually have actually burned or sent to a dead wallet the majority of 41% of the total supply. So that's the kind of key points for Bonfire. I think it is a bit of a pump and dump, especially in the early days, because it hasn't really got real world application. But I really do believe that you can make a bit of money in the short term. And if you've got some money to lose and you feel like taking a gamble, it's worth doing. But again, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you some interesting things that I've been looking at and I'm putting money into. So I believe this is, out of all the kind of copycat of Safemoon, I think this is one that has a lot of potential as it's still early days, and it looks like it's getting quite a lot of good backing on social media and Reddit. And that is where the ball gets rolling and where people can flood and put a lot of money into it. So that kind of sums up the video. Let me know your thoughts on Bonfire and if you'll be putting any money into it. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.